Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stop for a moment. Just stop. Close your eyes if you need to and ask yourself this question. When was the last time you truly thought about yourself? Not in passing, not in a fleeting moment, but really thought about who you are, what you need, and what you deserve. Too often, we live our lives running for everyone else, pleasing everyone around us, carrying burdens that are not ours, sacrificing our dreams for someone else's comfort. And in the process, we forget the most important person in our life, you. Yes, you. I'm not just talking about selfishness. I'm talking about self-respect, self-worth, self-love. I'm talking about standing in front of the mirror and saying, I matter. My dreams matter. My life matters. Because here's the truth. If you don't think about yourself, who will? If you don't care for your own soul, who will fight for it? You see, thinking about yourself is not arrogance. It's survival. It's preparation. It's the fire that fuels your greatness. And tonight, right here, right now, I want you to open your hearts and your minds and step into the power of knowing that you are enough just as you are, and you deserve everything you've been waiting for. So I ask you again, with every ounce of honesty in my spirit, are you ready to start thinking about yourself always? Are you ready to put yourself first in a world that wants to make you forget your value? Because the moment you do, the moment you truly prioritize yourself, your life will never be the same again. Let me tell you something tonight, something that I need you to hear with every fiber of your being. Your worth is non-negotiable. Yes, I said it, non-negotiable. You hear people all the time telling you, you should be grateful for what you have, or don't ask for too much, or you can't have it all. But I'm here to tell you that the voice that whispers doubt into your ear, the voice that tells you that you're not enough, that you don't deserve more, that you're asking too much from life, it is a lie. You were born with value. You were created with purpose. And no one has the right to make you feel less than what you are. I want you to think about this for a moment. Every time you sell yourself short, every time you settle for less than you deserve, you are betraying yourself. You are saying that your dreams, your passions, your happiness, they don't matter. But let me be clear, they do matter. They matter more than you realize. They matter more than the opinions of anyone who has tried to make you feel small. And tonight, I'm calling you to remember that. I'm calling you to stand up and declare, I am worthy, I am valuable, I am not for negotiation. And I know some of you are nodding your heads, but inside you're still doubting. You're thinking, but what about my past? What about my mistakes? What about the times I failed? Listen to me carefully. Your past does not determine your value. Your failures do not erase your worth. Every scar, every tear, every moment of pain, it has shaped you, yes, but it has not diminished the treasure that you are. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still capable. And that alone is proof that your worth cannot be measured by anything outside of you. Let me take it even deeper. How often do you allow someone else's opinion to dictate how you see yourself? How often do you let criticism, rejection, or disappointment convince you that you are less than enough? I'm telling you tonight, do not give them that power. The world will try to put a price tag on you. will try to tell you what you are worth, will try to define you by what you have or haven't accomplished. But hear me out, only you define your value. Only you decide what you deserve. And if you do not recognize your own worth, if you do not insist on your own value, then the world will gladly convince you that you are worth far less than what you are. Your worth is non-negotiable because it is not based on your job, your bank account, your relationship, or your achievements. Your worth is inherent. It is intrinsic. It is part of who you are as a human being. And once you understand that, once you really grasp it in your soul, something inside you will shift. You will stop apologizing for being you. You will stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You will stop begging for acceptance that should have been given freely to begin with. And here's the truth. It's not selfish to recognize your worth. It's not prideful to demand respect. It's not arrogance to stand up for yourself. The moment you accept your value, the moment you declare to the universe, I will not settle for less than I deserve, your life begins to change. Opportunities that were once out of reach start to appear. People who once drained you start to fade away. Doors that were closed begin to open. And the peace that comes from knowing that you are enough, just as you are, is indescribable. So tonight, I challenge you, stop negotiating with your soul. Stop letting fear, doubt, or the expectations of others dictate your worth. Stand in front of the mirror and say, I am valuable, I am worthy, my life has meaning, my dreams matter, and no one, not now, not ever, will make me forget that. Let that truth sink into your bones. Let it echo in your mind every morning when you wake up. Let it guide every decision you make, every relationship you pursue, every opportunity you embrace. Your worth is non-negotiable. Remember that. Believe it. Live it. And watch as your life begins to reflect the truth that has been inside you all along. Tonight, choose yourself. Tonight, honor your value. Tonight, stand in your worth. Because when you do, nothing and no one can take it away from you. Let me speak to you tonight with the urgency that your soul needs to hear self. Care is not optional. It is not a luxury. It is essential. And yet far too many of us live as if it is something we can put off, as if taking care of ourselves is somehow selfish, as if the world will crumble if we pause, breathe, and honor the very lives that were entrusted to us. But hear me tonight, you cannot give what you do not have. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And if you do not take care of yourself, nothing else you do will ever truly matter. I want you to picture your life for a moment. Think about the pace, the demands, the responsibilities, the weight that you carry every single day. Think about the countless times you put someone else's needs above your own, the countless hours you stayed silent when your heart was screaming for rest, the countless nights you sacrificed your peace for someone else's comfort. And now ask yourself this question: how long can you keep doing this before you break? How long can you keep neglecting yourself before the very thing that keeps you going begins to falter? Self-care is not indulgence. It is preservation. It is honoring the temple that God, or life itself, gave you. It is saying to the universe, I matter, my body matters, my mind matters, my soul matters, and I will not allow myself to be diminished by neglect. You see, when you care for yourself, when you prioritize your rest, your healing, your growth, You are not only giving yourself strength, you are giving those around you the best version of you. Because a tired, depleted, stressed, overworked version of you cannot love fully, cannot work fully, cannot live fully. And that is why self-care is essential, not optional. I know, so some of you are shaking your heads saying, but I have responsibilities. I cannot just stop. Listen to me. I am not telling you to abandon your life. I am telling you to reclaim it. I am telling you to recognize that your value is tied not to how much you sacrifice, but to how well you nurture yourself. Self-care is not selfish. It is strategic. It is the foundation upon which every success, every relationship, every dream is built. Without it, everything else collapses. Think about it. The body you live in is the only one you have. The mind you think with is the only one you have. The spirit that fuels you is the only one you have. And yet, we abuse them. We run ourselves ragged. We ignore the signs of exhaustion, the whispers of pain, the cries of the heart that say, I need attention, I need healing, I need care. And we push on thinking that if we ignore it, it will go away. But it doesn't. It accumulates, it compounds. And one day, if we are not careful, it breaks us. Tonight, I am asking you to stop. Stop for one moment. Breathe. Listen to yourself. Ask yourself, what am I denying myself today that my soul desperately needs? What am I postponing in the name of obligations, in the name of pleasing others, in the name of keeping things together? And then I want you to make a decision, not tomorrow, not next week, but now, to honor yourself, to rest, to heal, to nourish, to love yourself with the same ferocity, the same commitment, the same unwavering dedication that you pour into everyone else. Self-care looks different for everyone. For some, it is a quiet moment of prayer or meditation. For others, it is exercise, eating well, sleeping enough. For others, it is saying no to toxic people, to environments that drain you, to obligations that do not serve you. But whatever form it takes, it is an act of courage. It is an act of rebellion in a world that constantly demands more from you than you can give. And it is an act of love, the love that you owe to yourself first, so that you can give love freely and fully to the world. Let tonight be the night you decide that your well-being is non-negotiable. Let tonight be the night you choose to respect yourself enough to rest, to heal, to recharge. Because when you do, something miraculous happens. Your energy returns, your clarity returns, your joy returns, and the life you were always meant to live begins to unfold before you. Self-care is essential, not optional. And when you start living it, you will never look back. Tonight, I want to speak to the heart of every person in this room who has ever felt drained, worn out, used, or taken for granted. I want to speak to the one who has always said yes when every fiber of their being was screaming no. I want to speak to you because it is time, yes, it is time to set boundaries unapologetically. And I don't mean timidly, I don't mean quietly, I mean with power, with courage, with unwavering conviction, because your life depends on it. Let me be clear, boundaries are not punishment. They are not rejection. They are not a weapon to hurt someone else. Boundaries are protection. Boundaries are respect. Boundaries are a declaration that says, I am not here to be your doormat. I am not here to sacrifice my peace for your comfort. I am here fully, and I will not compromise my dignity or my soul for anyone. And yet too many of us live our lives without them, giving and giving and giving until we have nothing left to give, not to anyone, not even to ourselves. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you felt overwhelmed, anxious, frustrated, or even resentful because you allowed someone else to overstep? How many times have you sacrificed your time, your energy, your dreams, your happiness, all to avoid conflict or to gain approval? And I am here to tell you tonight that pattern must end. It must end because your life, your peace, your joy, and your very soul are too valuable to be compromised. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It is self-respect. It is the armor that shields you from the forces that would diminish you, from people who do not have your best interests at heart, from a world that too often asks too much of you without giving anything in return. But I know some of you are shaking your heads saying, I can't. I don't want to upset anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Listen to me, I am not saying you should be cruel. I am saying you must be courageous. Courageous enough to protect your heart. Courageous enough to honor your time. Courageous enough to stand in your truth and say, this is what I will accept and this is what I will not. Because the moment you stop defending your boundaries, the moment you start compromising yourself, you set a precedent for how the world treats you. And if you do not set the standard, you can be certain that no one else will. Setting boundaries unapologetically also means recognizing your limits. It means acknowledging that you are human, that you are not invincible, that you are deserving of rest, peace, and respect. It means understanding that your yes should be powerful, not a habit born out of fear or obligation. Every time you say yes when your soul is screaming no, you chip away at your energy, your clarity, your joy. And I am here to tell you tonight, you do not have to do that anymore. You have permission to say no. You have permission to walk away. You have permission to honor your life, your dreams, and your spirit. And hear me, the world will try to shame you. The world will try to make you feel guilty. Friends, family, co-workers, even loved ones, they will push back. They will test you. They will ask why, as if your life is their property to control. But I am here to remind you that your boundaries are not negotiable. Your peace is not negotiable. Your dignity is not negotiable. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to step back. You are allowed to protect your heart, even if it makes someone uncomfortable, even if it causes momentary conflict, because the long-term result is freedom, clarity, and self-respect. When you set boundaries unapologetically, you send a message to the world, I am here, I matter, my life matters, my time matters, my heart matters. And you know what happens when you live like that? People begin to respect you. People begin to honor your space. People begin to understand that your peace is sacred. And the most beautiful part is that you start to respect yourself even more. You start to see your own value. You start to realize that your life is not meant to be lived on someone else's terms. It is meant to be lived fully, powerfully, authentically, unapologetically. So tonight, I challenge you, identify the areas in your life where you have compromised too much. Identify the moments where you have given too much of yourself without regard for your own well-being, and then take action, draw the line, speak the truth, stand your ground, protect your heart, set boundaries unapologetically, because in doing so, you reclaim your life, you reclaim your peace, you reclaim your power, and nothing can ever take that away from you once you do. Tonight, I want to speak to every soul in this room who feels stuck, who feels overlooked, who feels like life is moving past them while everyone else seems to be moving forward. I want to speak to you about something that is often ignored, often postponed, often dismissed, but is absolutely vital if you want to live the life you were born to live. That is this: you must invest in your growth. And when I say growth, I don't just mean financial growth. I don't just mean professional advancement. I mean growth of your mind, your heart, your soul, your character, your skills, your dreams. Growth in every area that shapes the very essence of who you are. Think about a seed for a moment, a tiny, fragile seed. On its own, it has potential, but potential alone does nothing. A seed needs water, it needs sunlight, it needs nourishment from the soil. It needs care, attention, and the right conditions to grow into a tree, to bear fruit, to become strong, resilient, and magnificent. And that seed is you. That seed is your life. That seed is your mind, your spirit, your purpose. And every day that you neglect to invest in yourself, every day that you wait for someone else to water your potential, you delay the extraordinary life that is waiting for you. I know some of you are thinking, but I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. I don't have what it takes. Listen to me with every ounce of honesty. I can offer growth is not about convenience. Growth is not about comfort. Growth is about commitment. Growth is about doing the hard work. Even when the world is trying to distract you, even when it is trying to convince you that you are not enough. Growth requires sacrifice. Growth requires discipline. Growth requires a relentless, unwavering belief in the person you are becoming even before the world recognizes it. Investing in your growth means saying yes to education, yes to learning, yes to experiences that challenge you and push you beyond your limits. It means reading books that stretch your mind. It means seeking mentors who ignite your vision. It means stepping into uncomfortable situations that force you to expand, evolve, and rise. It means taking the time to reflect, to pray, to meditate, to think deeply about the life you are building. And I'm here to tell you tonight, every small step, every bit of effort you make toward your growth compounds over time. It is the water that nourishes the seed. It is the sunlight that awakens potential. And if you stay committed, if you remain disciplined, if you remain faithful, you will witness a transformation so magnificent, it will leave you breathless. But here's the challenge. Many of us avoid growth because it is uncomfortable. Many of us avoid investing in ourselves because it requires facing hard truths. Truths about where we are, truths about what we need to change, truths about what we have allowed to hold us back. But I am here to tell you the very discomfort you feel is a sign that growth is happening. The very challenge you fear is the doorway to a life you've only dreamed of. Growth demands courage. The courage to face yourself honestly, the courage to confront your limitations, the courage to stretch beyond the familiar and step into the unknown. And I want you to hear this clearly tonight. Investing in your growth is not selfish. It is not indulgent. It is necessary, because the more you grow, the more you can give. The more you grow, the more impact you can have. The more you grow, the more you inspire, the more you lead, the more you uplift those around you. Your growth is not just about you, it is about the ripple effect your transformation creates in the lives of everyone you touch. And that is why it is so critical, why it is so urgent, why it is so non-negotiable that you commit to it. So I challenge you tonight, stop waiting for the right moment. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the world to recognize your potential. Begin where you are. Start with what you have. Make the decision right now that you will invest in yourself relentlessly, consistently, unapologetically. Read that book. Take that course. Attend that seminar. Seek that mentor. Practice that skill. Reflect, pray, grow, stretch, evolve. Do it every day. And over time, you will witness a transformation so profound that the life you thought was possible will pale in comparison to the life you are now creating. Your growth is your responsibility. Your growth is your gift to yourself. Your growth is your legacy. And when you embrace it fully, passionately, and without hesitation, you will discover a life so rich, so fulfilling, so extraordinary that the world will marvel at it. And more importantly, you will marvel at it because you chose to invest in yourself when it mattered most. Tonight, I need you to hear this with every ounce of your being. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You can try, you can force it, you can push yourself to give, to love, to serve, to sacrifice. But if you are empty inside, if your heart is weary, your spirit is broken, your mind is exhausted, then everything you pour out will be diminished, everything you give will be compromised, and eventually, if you do not fill yourself first, you will find that you have nothing left to give at all. So many of us live as if we are infinite wells, as if our energy, our love, our patience, our spirit can never run dry. We say yes when we mean no. We sacrifice when we should rest. We serve when we should recover. We ignore the hunger of our own hearts to satisfy the demands of everyone else. And the truth is, the world does not stop asking. Life does not pause to let you catch your breath. People will keep needing you. Circumstances will keep pressing. Responsibilities will keep piling up. And if you do not fill yourself first, you will collapse under the weight of it all. I want you to imagine this for a moment. Your body, your mind, your soul, your very essence is a cup. Every task, every demand, every worry, every burden is water that you pour into other cups, other lives. But if your own cup is empty, if you never nourish yourself, if you never restore yourself, then all that you give will be half-hearted. It will be weary. It will lack the depth, the strength, the life that it was meant to carry. And deep down, you know this to be true. You know the nights when you tried to give, but had nothing to give. You know the moments when your patience ran out, your compassion faded, your joy vanished because your own cup had been ignored for too long. You cannot pour from an empty cup. That is a truth you must ingrain in your heart tonight. And yet, filling your cup is not just about rest. It is not just about sleep. It is not just about taking a day off or saying no to one obligation. It is about actively nurturing yourself, actively replenishing your energy, actively tending to your mind, your body, and your soul. It is about feeding your spirit with love, with hope, with purpose, with clarity. It is about creating space for yourself to breathe, to dream, to heal, to grow. It is about saying, I matter, I am worthy of care, I will prioritize myself, because if I do not, no one else will. And I know some of you are struggling with guilt. Some of you are saying, but if I take care of myself, someone else will suffer. If I rest, someone else will be burdened. If I say no, people will be disappointed. Let me tell you something with absolute clarity. You are not responsible for everyone else's happiness, and you cannot pour from yourself if you are empty. You cannot be the pillar of strength, the source of love, the fountain of hope for others if you have neglected the one person who needs it most. You are allowed to fill your cup. You are allowed to care for yourself first. You are allowed to replenish, restore, and revive your spirit. And when you do, you will discover something miraculous. The more full your cup, the more capable you are of giving. The more you nurture yourself, the more abundant your love, your energy, your patience, your joy becomes. Think about the lives around you. The people you love, the people you serve, the people who depend on you, they deserve you at your best, not at your breaking point. They deserve your fullness, your vitality, your spirit alive and thriving, not drained and depleted. And that is why filling your cup is not selfish. It is not indulgent. It is necessary. It is the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for those around you. So tonight, I challenge you, take a moment, listen to your heart, feel your body, reflect on your mind, ask yourself honestly, how empty am I? And then commit. Commit to filling your cup every single day. Commit to nurturing your spirit, nourishing your mind, restoring your energy, and loving yourself fiercely and unapologetically. Because when you do, everything changes. You give better, you love better, you live better, you rise higher. And the world will see not a tired, depleted version of you, but a powerful, abundant, unstoppable you, the you that was always meant to shine. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Remember that. Believe that. Live that. Fill yourself and watch how your life and the lives of everyone you touch transform in ways you never imagined. And now, as we come to the close of this moment, I want you to hear this with the deepest truth in my heart. Your life is yours. Your time is yours. Your soul is yours. And if you do not think about yourself, if you do not honor yourself, if you do not stand unapologetically in your worth, who will? Remember this, your worth is non-negotiable. No circumstance, no person, no failure, no setback can take away the treasure that you are. Do not allow anyone to tell you that you are less than magnificent. Do not allow the world to convince you that you have to shrink, compromise, or apologize for existing fully. Stand tall, lift your head, speak your truth, and declare with every ounce of courage inside you, I am worthy, I am valuable, I am enough. And then care for yourself. Self-care is essential, not optional. Give yourself the grace to rest, to heal, to restore your mind, your body, your spirit. Protect your energy as fiercely as you protect your dreams. Because a weary, depleted soul cannot accomplish what a nurtured, vibrant soul can. You must fill yourself, and in doing so, you unleash a power inside you that will change your world. Set boundaries unapologetically. Say no when you need to say no. Step back when the world demands too much. Protect your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. Boundaries are not rejection, they are protection. They are the declaration that your life, your joy, and your spirit matter. And when you do this, people will learn how to respect you, And more importantly, you will learn how to respect yourself. Invest in your growth relentlessly. Feed your mind with knowledge. Feed your spirit with wisdom. Stretch yourself in ways that challenge you, shape you, and propel you toward the extraordinary life that is waiting for you. Growth requires sacrifice. Growth requires courage. Growth requires commitment. But it is the very thing that turns dreams into reality and potential into greatness. If you do not invest in yourself, no one else will. And finally, never forget, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Fill yourself first. Restore yourself first. Nurture your heart, mind, and soul first. Because when your cup is full, your love overflows, your energy radiates, and your impact multiplies. And when you live like this, fully, unapologetically, fiercely, the world cannot help but be changed by your presence. So tonight, I challenge you to leave here with a promise to yourself. A promise to think about yourself always, not in arrogance, not in selfishness, but in love, in honor, in commitment to the life you were meant to live. Stand in your worth. Care for yourself. Protect your peace. Grow relentlessly. Fill your cup. And as you do, watch how your life transforms in ways you never imagined. You are not a secondary thought. You are not an afterthought. You are not someone to be forgotten in the hustle and bustle of life. You are a masterpiece. You are a force. You are a life of infinite value and unmeasurable potential. Think about yourself always, because the moment you do, the moment you truly honor yourself, the world will have no choice but to rise to meet the greatness that already lives within you. So rise tonight, stand in your truth, and walk boldly into the life you were always meant to claim. The world is waiting for the fullness of you. It is waiting for your light, your strength, your brilliance. But it all begins with one simple, powerful decision to think about yourself always